I hear you say, is that we need to. What I'm thinking for as you're talking is we need more participation.
Yes.
We need more participation. We need more involvement. I'm particularly guilty. I don't even know what's going on over there.
Yes.
But we'll talk more about that. Yes, we'll talk more about that.
Yes.
So
right.
yeah. So yeah, tell me, because one of the pictures I saw also, one of the things we've seen, and I think you also shared a few of those pictures with me, was this I'll call it one of the high point of your career. And that is with Bonfrey Joe. So tell us a bit about that. I mean, how was that for you?
Right. Oh, that's a brilliant question. So referring to the Bonfrey Joe, story. Now, Bonfrey Joe led our national team to the Nations Cup triumph in 1994. Himself and Westhoff, Clemens Westhoff, the two Dutch coaches. And of course, he single-handedly, as a coach now, led the Atlanta team to victory. I mean, to
Nigerian team.
The Nigerian team. Yes, sorry, the Nigerian team to Atlanta 96 gold. You know where they. I mean, Atlanta 96 Olympics where they won. Where the football team won gold. Now, arguably, the most outstanding has produced. His record speaks for itself. It's not a matter of opinion; it's a fact. You know that there's no coach that's been able to exceed his record. Now, so basically, when he won the Nations Cup in '94, the government of General Sani Abacha at that time, because General Sani Abacha was the head of state, you know, at that time, offered him a house in Abuja, right? And with some other, goodies, as it were. However, for some reason or the other, that was not fulfilled by the government of Abacha. It was not fulfilled by subsequent regime, in spite of his making efforts, to redeem that commitment. So yes, down the line, he more or less gave up, on that pledge. Now, sometime in year 2016, a Nigerian met him in Belgium, and they got talking, and he raised the issue of this award that was not fulfilled by the federal government of Nigeria, despite what the laurels, he brought to the country, and all of that. Of course, he was a bitter man, And the gentleman he met in Belgium assured him that that matter will be revived, that there's a lawyer in Lagos who he was going to introduce to Bonfrey, who would take up this matter, that he should not worry about, the past year's futile attempts. You understand? But this lawyer is a go-getter. He likes challenges of this nature, right? So, well, long story short, we connected, that Bonke and I, over the phone. That is, he was in Netherlands at the time. No, he had left Belgium. He was in Netherlands. He was in Holland. Of course, I was in, and then we got talking. He gave me background into, of course, Bonke. When this gentleman called me to narrate this to me and all of that, of course, I was excited that, of course, this coach, this legendary coach, was one of, when it comes to coaching, my hero, my hero, literally, my hero, coaching, in Nigeria, because he just took me back to the years that the team won the Nations Cup and later the Atlanta. I could visualize him. I could just remember everything. Coming to play. I was at the university at some point. Then at the other point, when he won the Olympics, I was at the law school. So several years down the line, having this golden opportunity to now provide services to this legendary man was an opportunity that I was not going to let slip away. So of course I embraced it, with my whole body. That yes. So I basically asked him to avail me, all the documents, the correspondences, tangible materials, because you won't go to the federal government with mouth and start saying that. So I just needed material to build, my strategy, around and all of that. So he did, and but he was very clear from the outset, I think from his past experiences, that there will be no pecuniary commitment, in all of this, because in the past, and I said, look, leave pecuniary commitment aside. I was going to run this myself, right? Of course, the gentleman he met in Belgium was also providing some logistical, materials, as well. What we resolved to do was that we're not going to, since the man at that time was more or less hopeless. Yes, because that was what he was hopeless. Yeah, but it was that he had any hope. He was hopeless or pessimistic about, so it was. So we are going to run all of this with our funds, basically, myself and this guy. But I had no inhibitions whatsoever. I knew that I was going to pursue this, to a successful. I had no doubt. I was upbeat, about it, that I was going to. So I took the challenge on, and then I started engaging the various Nigeria Football Federation, the Ministry of Sport, and lastly the Federal Ministry of Housing, Lands and Housing, headed by Mr. Babatu. Okay. So, long story short, Moji, Mr. Babajunde Fagi, Raji Fashola, and his team, eventually met with me. We had extensive discussions and agreed eventually on the way forward, basically, which was at the end of the day, a property in Abuja was earmarked, for that ceremony, to be to be handed over to him, at an elaborate ceremony, and that ceremony took place in 2018, right? So Bumphrey had to fly. Initially, when I told him that it's done, that if I even sent him scanned the copy of the allocation letter, Federal Ministry of Lands and Housing and all that, he didn't believe. He said, "You mean that it can," it was very, very funny at the time. The man still didn't believe that. Are you sure they're going to give me this house? That. So I said, but look at, so long as you don't doubt that this letter was issued from the Ministry of Housing. In fact, at some point when I was at the Federal Ministry of Housing in Abuja, they had to put a call across to him. Okay, maybe now started believing a bit, because the permanent secretary, the minister actually gave directives. But Babatunde Fashola, I must commend it. It was exemplary. It was exemplary on this project Buffy. It was exemplary, very outstanding. Our gratitude to the minister for his turned into a reality. So anyway, at the ceremony in 2018, he flew down from, of course, I sent you some of those pictures when I went to receive him at the airport, Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport, and all that. And everybody at the airport, they still recognize him. Funny and interestingly, the whole, even years after, everybody, is that not Buffy, everybody, So we attended the ceremony organized by Mr. Babatunde Fashola Senior Advocate of Nigeria at the Minister's Conference Room at the Ministry of Housing, where the keys to his property was formally and openly, given to him. For weeks to come, that was the main news. That was what you found trending everywhere. The media, social media, the everywhere. And so he got his and he was quite delighted. That finally, even though 24 years after, right? Because that was 24 years after the award was there, you understand? But better late than never, The man at that time was 70-something. He was already 70-something, 74, 75, thereabout. So, and he was quite grateful for my endeavor, for my relentless effort, in pursuing that cause, and so to God be the glory. And I was also very proud that at least I was able to help to assist this legendary coach, right, to get his reward for the feat of 1994. So yes, so that basically is the story about around the Buffy. Yes.
You should really be proud of yourself. Thank you. That's really commendable.
Yes,
and I can imagine how many more will come from that.
Oh yes. Thank you, Moji.
That's really nice.
Thank you so very much.
That's really nice. We are proud of you.
Oh yes.
We're really proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate your kind words. Yeah, that's the spirit, the commando spirit we're talking about. That's the commando spirit. The commando spirit. Yes, that's the commando spirit. Never say never. It was this guy, it was this man. of blessed memory, the great Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela said, it is impossible until it is done. It is impossible until it is done. So you can decipher that. So it basically means impossible is nothing. There's there's nothing that, so long as you have the drive and the belief. So basically, and that's a principle which has kept me going.
That's nice. That's one principle that has kept you going. Any other principle that has kept you going? Any other principle?
I think it's all submerged into that, really. It's all submerged into that. It's all submerged into that. Yeah, because if I would say that, look, it doesn't matter how many times you fall. What matters is you're dusting yourself up, and you forge ahead. You understand, and so it's just to be undeterred, to refuse to be bogged down by any could be mishap, could be previous failures, could be just anything. You don't allow it to distort your focus. You understand? Keep your eyes on the ball. Keep your eyes on the ball, and then that is what that's what drives me. That is a principle which radiates in me, basically.
That's good. That's a good spirit. That's a good spirit, because some people get really turned off once they don't succeed in something. They just get turned off. Yeah.
Yeah, what it is. Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
how I mean,
the whole idea is yes.
You're saying something?
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I said, I want to ask, you said, how, for me, I've gone through some things in life. Has there been any situation, a reflective moment? And when you have such, I know that from time to time we all go through something. How do you deal with such situations? And if there's any, can you just share briefly, how it was for you?
Well, a bit of I need a second to process it. Now, again, I'll try to understand your question. Is your question, what is that? Is to pray, to be honest. When I have those moments, yes, I understand I understand you now. Yes, everybody have had such moments one time or the other. Several times, you have such times, no, but yes, I think I understand, yeah. It's only that, to try and pin, one of, so that I have those down moments, right? Is to pray, essentially, and to reflect, to have an introspection, to reflect on that experience and try to decipher where what went wrong where. Having a sincere, reflection, just trying to pigeonhole, what exactly, why did it go this way? Why didn't it go this way? And then being sincere with yourself, where particularly when you have the entire blame. You understand? Where you have the entire, it may be your marriage. It may be your marriage, for instance. You know, it may be your marriage. It may be your business.
Yeah.
Even probably your professional life. It may be your social activity. It may be, you know, wherever. You know, but then you have that moment of, you know, reflection, and then you just have that conversation with the Almighty, you know, depending on what the situation is, you know, and just pray for a quick turnaround, you know, of that situation for the better. You know, there are times when certain things sound very unpalatable, unwelcome, things that you know strike, and then but they could also be you know a kind of you know platform, you know, to launch into even greater, you know, loftier, you know, things, you know, things that would hurriedly remove the memories of those, you know, those sad yeah, events, you know. So that's what I do.
That's nice. Before we go off, I wanted to still mention how it was for you when our commandant, that's Colonel Lawal, when he eventually passed on to glory. How was that experience for you?
Oh yes, when he passed on to glory, it was the saddest till now. I think that's the saddest moment of my life. You know, the saddest was quite devastating. It was like the world has suddenly come to an end. You know, in fact, it was everything just collapsed. You know, at that point. And what made it so even more so depressing and traumatizing at the time was that he had undergone a surgery, and you know, the surgery was successful, and he was expected back home just the eve of the early hours that he passed on. We were with him, you know, at the hospital in Apapa at that time. In fact, one of our your colleague, Diola Davis, was yourself.
Yes,
yeah?
Diola
Davis, you know, was working in that hospital as well at the time. But I lost it at the time, and you know, at that time, my dad was the chairman of Lagos Airport Hotel, the board of directors, right? You know, Lagos Airport Hotel is one of the companies under the Odua investment. This southwest, you know, business had yeah, this home company which belongs to this southwest. They have several companies: Premier Hotel, Lagos Airport Hotel, Nigeria General Insurance Company, etc., etc. What's it now? So there are so much. He was representing Ogun State on that board. Okay. He was appointed by the governor of Ogun State, Governor Shoba at that time. So representing Ogun State on that board, and he was the chairman as well of the board of you know, directors. So I remember that day, the previous night that we were with him, he'd given me a message to take to the MD of that hotel, that Lagos Airport Hotel. So I didn't even know that he had passed on. I didn't know. So I just went to the MD's office to pass on that message, right? And the MD didn't know that I wasn't aware that he had passed on that time. The MD thought I was so I got into the MD's office, and I could see the MD, the executive director, all the you know, the management staff of that hotel. I lost you again. Yeah, all the management staff of that hotel were in the MD's office and the directors, the executive director. And the moment I entered, you could see this look on their faces, this solemn, and they started commiserating with me. And I was like, what is happening here? And they were like, oh, and they, you know, the way, you know, then it struck me that what these guys were saying was that the man I saw the night up till, you know, 11 p.m. or so the previous night had died, you know, somewhere. But I didn't want to behave as if I was hearing that thing right there for the first. You know, I put on a manly front. You know, this facade I put, you know, that, but my heart, oh my God, I was like, I needed to get out of that place fast. So I just delivered, so I just took in all the commiserations and all this and all that and all that, and this and that and that. And fortunately, I didn't drive to that place that day. Somebody took me there, which was that. So the moment I left, and you know, there was no, was there a phone then? I can't remember. Okay, there was. It passed on here at 2000, sorry. That was 20 years ago. Okay, there was phone, but I don't.
No
anyway,
there was no GSM.
Sorry?
There was no GSM then.
There was no GSM. Yeah, there was no GSM. You know, I don't think that was GSM. I don't. So the moment I just completely broke down, you know, completely broke down. I just told the guy he should just take me home, you know, and all that. The moment I got to our house, that, you know, the reality, if I that one even done the more, look at cars, you know, I mean, the news had traveled so fast, you know, the whole of the compound, you know, anyway, but that was, you know, so his death, you know, was the saddest, remains the saddest, you know, day. But I would juxtapose that with the happiest day of my. Maybe I'll say the happiest day, even though Moji didn't ask me. But since I just spoke about the saddest day,
yeah,
you know, I probably should balance it up with, you know, the happiest. The happiest day for me would be when I had my first, you know, my daughter, you know, my daughter, you know, when I had my daughter, she's 18 years old now. She's 18. That's my first daughter, and yeah, my second born, my son is 16, and then I have a baby. Not really a baby, but I have he's 7. He's 7. So yeah, so that's yeah. So my dad saddest, then the birth of my daughter, my children in that succession, my happiest.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
I can imagine the joy when you first have a child.
Oh yes. You know, the interesting thing again, I was scared to enter the labor room for the first one. I was scared. I could not, no, it was not, you know, they tried to get me into the labor room, but I wasn't going no way. I wasn't going anywhere near there. No way, you know. So the second one too, I wasn't there. But the third one, I thought I developed enough immunity. You know, so the third one, I actually I was in there, you know, for the third one. I didn't enter the first and second one, but the third one, I was right there, you know, looking so sternly. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was brave then. So and then I was part of the whole, you know, it was interesting. And you ladies, you're trying. Kudos to you.
We are trying. It's a lot, yes.
Kudos. Yeah, right.
Okay, so Sanjo, tell us in closing, give me one of the things you said to me, or I'm going to keep in my mind is, you shared a quote earlier on.
Yes, yes.
By Mandela. Can you share it again?
Yes, that it is impossible until it is done.
It is impossible until it is done. In other words, anything is possible.
Exactly, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
So any other quote you'd like to leave us with?
Any other quote? Interesting.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Moji. Thank you. Yeah. And I must appreciate you for what you're doing. We learn from one another. Your program offers a platform for us, at least to learn a thing or the other from your guests, life experiences and, the positive things, that we could, derive from your engagement, your conversation with your guests. I appreciate the fact that you gave me the opportunity to be on your program today. I'm very delighted, Moji. Thank you once again.
Thank you for your time. Thank you once again, Sanjo. I really appreciate it.
All right then.
And definitely, we all know where to run to when we have legal problems.
Oh yes. Oh, definitely. Real estate, commercial transaction, what have you? Yes, this is the go-to man. Come to me.
Definitely, we'll remember that.
All right.
We remember that.
All right then. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching. I believe that you have learned one or two things. At least it talks a lot to us about the will, about writing our wills, and also about the alumni, how much we can actually all come together and we can be a force. So I look forward to your testimonies or your remarks concerning this conversation. Thank you again, everyone, for watching. And until the next guest, bye for now. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.